What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. If you've clicked on this video, you've already seen the title. This is going to be an interesting one for sure. Some of you might be like, man, that Journos is an a-hole. I promise you that's not what this is about, but we're going to address kind of the state of, I think, social media and the social media platform for individuals that use this platform as quote-unquote influencers, whether it be in the comic book hobby or anybody, no matter what they're doing when they're using platforms like YouTube. We're going to deep dive into it, and we are going to answer the question, am I really here to make friends or not? If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so. Check out all the links in the description below. Now, before we get into the topic of discussion, people ask me all the time, Chris, where do you go to send your books to be pressed? For so long, I didn't know where to go because I pressed my own books until I tried out popculturezone.com. I do have a video showing you guys the before and after, but I do want to take less than 60 seconds just to show you guys what they do, real affordable stuff, and we're going to come right back to talk about this topic today. Today's video was sponsored by Pop Culture Zone Pressing Services. If you need your comic books pressed, I personally vouch for Pop Culture Zone as being one of the best professional companies in the game, offering hands down the lowest prices out there. Services start at only $9.99, and every order placed will receive free fast track turnaround times. Even though I press comics for my personal collection, whenever I need a professional press for my key comics, I send them off to Pop Culture Zone, and every single book that I've received back, every single one, has had results that have exceeded my expectations, and I am sure that they will exceed your expectations as well. Make sure you go check the link in the description below to head over to their website, popculturezone.com, for complete details on services and how to begin your order. All right, everyone, here we go. I've been contemplating doing this video for a few weeks. I'm finally going to do it. No script. I'm just going to go right in. I'm not here to make friends. And I don't believe that it is anybody's place on YouTube to do what they do in order to make friends. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm actually going to give a specific example of why I have my boundaries up and what that means to the fact that just because you watch my channel doesn't mean that I'm your friend. And remember, I'm not just being an a-hole here. There's a very specific point I'm trying to make, but I also think it talks to a bigger kind of phenomenon that is cultural in terms of social media. And it goes to something I talked about briefly just recently about endorphins and how we connect to this social media space that we're in and how it validates us in so many different ways. And I want you all to hear me say that and not think of it as an extremely negative thing, because I've said this before too, especially since COVID. This is a community, no matter if you like it or not. We come here for a commonality that brings us together. And for some people, we do make bonds. But I'm going to explain to you a little bit why those bonds, for those that are in front of a screen, can't simply translate to friendships. Now, I'm going to add some context here as well. For those that know me, my door, ever since I've been doing this, has been wide open. Sometimes maybe too much. I always make myself available. I try to respond to every comment. I know I don't get to everyone here on YouTube. It's a lot, but I do the best that I can. If you message me on Instagram, I do my best to respond. And I actually, more often than not, respond with voice messages, sending little voice clips, because I like to have people hear my voice and hear the intent and the tone behind my words. And the door's always open. You got questions to ask me about comic books, what's going on in the hobby, etc., etc. I'm there to provide my knowledge and my input, because I believe that's part of what I'm supposed to do here in this stadium, in this arena, is to give back. You know, I've been that person. I've been on that end, and I'm still that person in so many ways. Maybe not even in the comic book realm of things, but and it feels really good where you can have a conversation with somebody that may be knowledgeable of something or may have a platform that you can take from and learn from. All right. But again, those things don't equate to friendships. Now, I also sell comics. I'm on Whatnot. I have sold comics on Instagram. And as a seller, I pride myself on my ethics. I put free books in almost every single order that anybody ever buys from me. That's just part of the way I run a business. But again, running a business doesn't mean I'm your friend. Now, I'm going to give you an example. If you go into a Starbucks or a coffee shop, and that's your spot. Like, you frequent it every morning. Every morning before you go to work, you make sure you stop at that coffee shop and get your grande vanilla latte or your tall chai tea, whatever it is. And your favorite barista, Jim, is there, right? Or Julie, your favorite barista, and you love being able to go there in the morning, get your cup of Joe, and talk to Jim and talk to Julie when they're making your drink. And, over weeks and months and whatever, you get to know Jim and Julie. And, you get to know where they're going to school. You get to know a little bit about if they have kids. And you may go in, hey, Julie, how's it going today? How's your little one? You build these bonds. But does that make them your friend? There is still a difference. And in real life, there are boundaries that we put up. And I think we have to understand that in this arena, we are more than not business people. We are here to run a business of some sort. We are here to provide a service or a good of some sort to the community that we are a part of. Now, I'm going to give you an example of why I'm even making this video at this point that is personal to me. Because I'm going to tell you, I care deeply about human beings. And that why my door always remains so open is because I care about people. I care about each and every one of you. And I care about each and every one of you. That's why I want you guys to know I'm not just being an a-hole here. You ain't my friends. I'm not here to make friends. It's not like that. But let me give you this an example. I had a viewer of the channel that would watch all my videos, come to all my live streams, and would chat it up. We even private messaged. I would send voice message. We would send voice messages to each other, and I got to know this individual. This individual would be in my sales and would support by spending a decent amount of money. And I really felt that this individual was a friend. I mean, I went through a lot of very deep, dark, personal things that I shared with this individual. The last year of my life has been really rough, and I opened up to this individual a lot. And, this individual, I knew a lot about their life, and they shared their struggles with me, and I was always there to give my words of encouragement or advice or lend my ear in my heart and my energy. And this individual recently blocked me on all platforms because we disagreed on a movie. We disagreed. We had a different, and I mean, we were actually agreeing on some things, but disagreed on a couple of others. And I said, it's all good. Yeah, we agree on this, but we'll respectfully agree to disagree on this. And this individual completely gaslit me and turned it around and said, I have to argue everything. I'm like, whoa, like, I'm not even trying. This is a movie. I'm not trying to have an argument. We can agree to disagree and just let it go. It's like, we have differences of opinions. I am not trying to argue. This person said basically, have a good life. And I'm like, wow, like, as far as I know, friends don't just cut people off because they disagree on a silly comic book movie. And then they proceeded to block me. So it goes to show, again, that for me specifically, I'm not here to make friends. I already have trust issues, but I'm not here to make friends. I feel like it's sometimes for you all as viewers, and even for me, being in your guys' situation on the flip side of things, And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal whatsoever at all. Please don't take it that way. But I think we expect way too much of people in this arena, in this capacity of how we interact with people that we know via social media, via YouTube or Instagram, because they have a platform. And it's shown me that I have, again, I have a service to deliver to all of you. And I have to deliver that service with ethics, morals, transparency, accountability. And by doing all those things, it allows me to build bonds. It allows me to keep an open door. It allows me to get to know many of you. And because I'm vulnerable, I allow you all to get to know many of me. It's part of me being on this platform. But it's in the boundaries of simply offering that service. Because more often than not, we expect too much. And we as human beings, no matter the situation, have to have boundaries in order to protect ourselves. And I can't extend myself to where I care about people, where the love or the respect or the adoration is conditional. It's conditional. And I've had this happen plenty of times. I mean, I have followers follow me. And again, like just today, I got into a discussion on Instagram with a follower and we disagreed. And he was like, oh, well, you're yelling at me and attacking me and calling me names. I didn't call him names. I didn't yell. I wasn't even typing in capitals. So I don't know how he assumed I was yelling. And I simply said, I believe your statement is hypocritical. That's all I said. That's not disrespectful. That's not name calling. That's presenting my opinion on the statement that he made. And it's like, unfollow, unfriend. We can't, it's conditional. It's conditional that I provide this endorphin rush that speaks to a preconceived notion or a preconceived ideal of what this relationship is supposed to be. We look at YouTubers as people that should validate our preconceived biases. And again, when I say bias, I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing. It's like the ideals that we already hold inside. And this is where we get the mob mentality. This is where we get tribal mentality. And I said this about how the endorphin rushes happen and how we feel a part of something and validated when you're in a live stream and you're watching your favorite YouTuber and they say your name or they bring your comment up. And you turn into this tribal collective of groupthink rhetoric where we have to follow a script or a feeling or an ideal that is so black and white and carbon copied of whatever is making us feel good in that moment, making us feel a part of something. And the reason why my following has either been fickle or abandoned me or whatever is because, again, and I've said this before, I don't tend to those kind of ideals. I'm not a yes man. I don't tend to groupthink and I don't regurgitate rhetoric. I speak my mind. And I go back to where it all started with when I made those videos 3 years ago now about the Key Collector app. And I was calling them out on things I disagreed with. And I saw that tribal mentality hop onto Journo. Oh, yeah, Journo's, yeah, man. He's got the pitchfork with us. He's anti-Key Collector. Until I made a video to where I agreed about something that Key Collector did. And those same people that were behind me when I disagreed with them was like, Journo's a sellout. Journo's clout chasing. I've sat in videos and made comics where I disagree with Comic Tom. Yeah, Journo. Yeah, Journo. But then I bought a few Comic Tom mystery boxes just because I wanted to see how they were. And Journo's a sellout. Journo's clout chasing. You can't win. I'm not here to make friends. And I'm also not here to sell a sensationalized pitch line. I'm not here to sell a narrative. With every single video that I make, I make it because I believe in what I'm saying, and I don't care if you guys watch and agree with me. So much so that I actually enjoy when you don't agree with me and leave your comments, as long as you're being respectful. And I'll tell you, most of you don't want to hear it. And that's the thing, when you do disagree with someone, you want to be able to plant your disagreement without having a response back, because we've forgotten how to have respectful debate. I don't care if you agree with me or not. The only thing that I care about is that you take something away, and maybe I could take something away from you in our discussion as we discuss things. So, to sum this up, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to appease anybody. I want to provide you guys a service. That service having to do with everything comic books and pop culture. Whether it be what comic books I collect, what comic books I'm picking up, what comic books are doing on the market, how to invest in comic books, whether it be my honest opinion on the industry, on entities in the industry, movies, sellers, apps, grading companies. And you guys can take my opinions and my research and my journalism for what it is, and you can watch, and you can leave your thoughts and agree, you can disagree, and I welcome all of you. But just know that we all have to put boundaries up and understand what these things are. It's not safe and it's not healthy to always feel that we need to become a part of an echo chamber for validation when we are, building these bonds with people that sit behind a camera and make videos on YouTube, because I'm just like you. I wake up, I eat, I shit and piss just like you guys. I pay bills, I struggle, I laugh, I cry, and I love comic books. We have more in common than where we differ, but I'm only human, and I'm just like you. So, while I'm not here to make friends, I appreciate the relationships that I made along the way that I can still hold dear. And I appreciate all of you for sharing and spending time with me, watching me, and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. So with that being said, I hope you all do so for this video. I would love to hear what you guys think. I would love to hear it. Agreements, disagreements, constructive thoughts, deep intellectual thoughts. Leave your thoughts below. I appreciate you all. Be good to yourselves, and please be good to other people. And until next time.